The year is 2009, and we're going to talk about knowing. My name is Brian Lee. To my right is
Christopher Lee.
To my left,
Bran.
the beer that we are drinking for this episode.
The best beer.
Listen back to the turning into Gilbert Gottfried. I choose Ugu. Listen back to the Christmas bonus episode. And this was the Dark Lord gifted from Christopher Lee to myself. It's the Dark Lord de Muerte. And this is the one, Dark Lord, aged in bourbon barrels with Guayulo Chiles.
Oh, very nice.
2015, 16?
I'd say 16, right?
It's definitely a
that
number.
is a font, but yes, 2016.
I like how
what bottle number is it?
500 of 618.
All right.
I like how the goop is like all sparkling. Mm-hmm. That's fancy.
It's the best goop.
The best goop.
They did announce the Dark Lord for this year, like the dates and stuff.
And the date and the day tickets go on sale.
Yeah.
I'm all on it.
Yeah.
Guys are so fancy.
Pretty much. While I'm opening this, it might take a second with the wax. If you want to discuss the plot keywords, hopefully they're better than last week's. Good Christ.
Yeah, right. So if you're unfamiliar,
I hate my mother.
the whole bottle just crumbles. It's all made of wax. These are the plot keywords. So, at least according to the plot keywords, according to IMDb. So, for example, the first plot keyword is end of the world. So you could click on end of the world and it would bring up every movie that has end of the world and its plot keywords.
Have your glass.
Yes. Second, other plot keywords for knowing is number,
Oh, yeah.
disaster,
Okay.
time capsule,
Oh, okay.
and code. Again, none of those very funny.
I mean, what the?
All very factual and true.
I know.
Not
It's
funny.
really disappointing. Now, spoilers for both of you. I've already seen this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I'll bring it up later. Well, you know what? No, fuck it. I'll bring it up now. I don't think I've seen this, but I feel like there's another movie that is very similar.
I'm sure there is because
Like-
this. Yeah.
Hold on.
It might have been like,
Damn it, I want to talk so bad right now.
it might be number 23 or whatever with Jim Carrey. That was all about like numbers and
I
predicting
remember
shit.
enjoying that, but I couldn't tell you anything that happened in it.
I know I watched it once.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't remember anything else.
Yeah. I think there's number 23 in it, and Jim
It looks
Carrey.
like straight up motor oil. In a good way.
That's awesome.
But yeah, because that's like things were happening. I was like, oh, this seems familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like before this podcast existed, like I didn't actively seek out Nick Cage films, so I don't think I've seen this before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the first things that I thought of.
Thank you.
Well, the first thing was the Bible code.
Yeah, the Bible code.
Yes.
Was he on Oprah?
Yes. Yes, he was. And I was super into the Bible code.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy it when I was younger.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God, dude. It was like this super fucking convoluted thing to where you could find what was it? Like
It was like you took the Hebrew version of the New Testament.
Okay.
It's like you just took all the letters and just made them into a grid. It was basically like a word search of what was going to happen.
And then you could there's like phrases you can find that are like next to each other.
So this jerk was on Oprah.
Yeah.
And fucking Oprah and all of her fucking people were all into it. He's like, September, fire, plane, screaming. And so it had like all these events that were supposedly predicted.
And it's all a bunch of BS. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like The Secret, you know?
The secrete.
Yeah.
Well, that and I mean, it was later after that dude, I'm sure was like rich and famous. But did they end up doing the same thing with Moby Dick?
Yeah.
They ended up just taking all the letters, making a grid, and like, yeah, you can still predict shit. And
Yep.
Anywho,
And Da Vinci Code. Wasn't Da Vinci Code where it's like about like
Yeah. There was like
I don't think I ever
I don't know
watched
if it
or
was
read it.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen almost all of them. Maybe they're not bad. You know, if you like
That's
Tom
the one
Hanks.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah. Tom Hanks. Yeah. They're not,
Tom Hanks.
they're not bad.
I like Tom Hanks.
I love Tom Hanks.
My friend hates Tom
We
Hanks.
talked about this.
Yeah.
Your
Yes.
friend's a terrible person.
Yeah, he's all
We shouldn't be
right.
friends anymore.
I said he's all right. Better than nothing.
Better than having no friends.
Like Tito Santana. It's a reference from like the 80s or something.
That's good.
I'll explain after.
Okay, when I'm older.
I'll explain when you're older.
Would you recommend this movie? We're switching it around in case you didn't listen last week.
Is that for me?
Yes.
God. No. I do not recommend this movie because it is not good. Podcast over.
Would you recommend the beer? No. Okay.
No, I did not. It jumps around like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but I'll explain since that's what the podcast is about is explaining. It didn't keep me entertained at all with it. There's nothing like it was all because it kind of tries to hook you. And you're like, oh, this might be good. Like this might, and then I was so let down. Like the first time I saw it, like I was so let down by a lot of it. I almost like was like, I'll never watch this again. But then I watched it here. So it's like, and I was dreading watching this. I'm like, oh God, I have to watch this stupid movie.
Oh, and that reminds me, I haven't looked up the next movies.
Oh boy. But yeah, I watched it all the way through again, and no. Not at all.
Brian, would you recommend this film?
I think after thinking about it for a while,
You're so gross.
yes, I do. Because it's so ridiculous.
To me, it's stupid. You know, it's not ridiculous because ridiculous is okay. But when it's just stupid.
No, because there's two different kind of ridiculous. There's like earnest ridiculous, and then there's like things killing ridiculous.
Yeah, no, those are both the same category. So you should learn ridiculous.
Take that back right now.
That's right. I think I should really do this.
Which one's that from?
Ernest Scared Stupid.
There we go.
I bet you thought I couldn't find it this time of year.
I love those movies. I've seen all those. Ernest Saves Christmas. Ernest Goes to Jail. Ernest Saves Christmas.
Slam Dunk, Ernest.
What?
Yeah. That's one of the most famous ones.
Slam Dunk.
Dude, so he dyes his skin, gets an extra ligament in his fucking knees.
You're making this up.
Yeah. I
was gonna say.
It really is a slam dunk, Ernest.
Yeah, okay. I'm not really. I've only know like.
I should have like.
You could have kept going.
It would have been years. I would have told people.
That's why I should have.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this fucking racist Ernest?
No, I would have been like, Ernest was ahead of his time. He didn't see color. No, I loved Ernest.
Let's go down to church's chicken.
The Ernest Halloween one.
Yeah. Scared Stupid.
Scared
That was
Stupid.
awesome.
I loved that one. That was a little spooky too when you're a kid. Spooky. Yeah, I liked
The
it.
practical effects are really good too.
Yeah. That one. Ernest Goes to Jail was really good because the doppelganger Ernest was in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Remember there was a doppelganger Ernest in jail.
I haven't seen it in fucking years.
And it was Ernest P. Worrell.
It's good.
Yeah.
Burn.
Neither.
So yeah. Now he's dead. So
He is.
Yeah.
Do you?
I didn't even try it yet.
I want to say yes, I recommend it, but I have questions.
It's got some bite to it. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah,
What are
it
your
has a
questions?
really nice after spice.
Yeah, you can feel the chilies in your throat.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I spit in yours.
All right.
You have questions.
Yes. Yeah, because I mean, this movie kept me entertained. I mean, it is ridiculous and stupid, but it kept me entertained. I wanted to see what happened next. But there's some big things that I'm just like, why is that the way it is. For example, why the house that Nicolas Cage and his son lives in? Caleb?
Yes,
I don't know.
yes, that's his son. Yes.
Why is it dilapidated on the inside? Like there's like wallpaper missing and there's just like
Right.
random like paint splotches and
why is your son living in a creepy attic?
was he?
Dude, his room, it was like a very small, creepy attic room.
Yeah.
Because it's a stupid movie.
Like I'm kind of convinced.
Listen, if you're going to be a Debbie Downer, this whole fucking... Listen, I listened to your fucking bullshit last episode.
Yeah, like I'm kind of convinced that the studio had just finished filming a horror movie.
Right.
Like, all right, well, that's a wrap. Awesome. Well, we have this next movie. It's a Nicolas Cage movie. Where do we film it? We got this old fucking house we can use.
You're
Like,
right.
yeah, I can see that
like
definitely.
that house doesn't fit this movie.
No, not at all. No, it's just, and it's in the middle of nowhere too.
That I was okay with. But
But because I took the dilapidation with the middle of nowhere, so it's not like he's like driving around in like fields of nothing. He's like, oh, I just found this old shitty house. I'm gonna live there now.
yeah.
That's how the movie goes.
I mean, he's a teacher at MIT, right?
Yes, and he flashes his wallet like it's a badge.
When does that happen?
When he meets Lucinda's daughter or whatever at the museum, he's like, I'm an astrophysicist at MIT. And he holds out like his wallet like there's a badge there. Spoiler alert, there isn't. So I was just like, so yeah.
Now, excuse me. Even though I didn't mind this movie, it kept my attention. There's one thing I did hate that has been a constant theme in all these movies. It's little kids.
I knew.
There's a lot of little kids in this.
So in the beginning of the movie, when they're showing the little Lucinda, right?
Yeah.
No, right?
She was the one that was like hearing voices and did the numbers.
She was
and-
creepy as hell. Like Wednesday
yeah,
Addams
little girl,
stuff.
creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, over the top. Too much.
Yes.
Like the fact that they had her like standing by herself holding a balloon.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah. And wasn't there electricity in 1959? When
Yes, there was.
Well, when they were looking for her, why didn't they turn any lights on? Everyone had flashlights in the building.
It would have been better if they had just like candles and lanterns.
Seriously,
Like,
it was because that was. I'm just like, look, I'm like, this is
was that Ghost
should
Rider?
have.
When the
Yes.
the graveyard guy. was like,
What are you doing here? Follow my lamp. But what was it? There were the one teacher back in the 50s. She was explaining something, and every other sentence, the kids were like, "Whoa,
Yes.
wow!"
Yes.
I'm like 1959 must have sucked. If the kids love time capsules.
Yeah, I put if these kids say "wow" or "whoa" one more
Yes.
time, I'm gonna murder someone.
Yeah. Wow, we get to look at a thing that gets put in the ground and we'll be dead by the time it gets. It's like,
And then-
well,
not the kids.
yes, the kids.
And then 50 years later, when they fucking pull out the time capsule, all the kids are like, "Wow!"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
yeah.
"Yeah."
yeah.
Yeah, because they all said "wow" almost in unison,
Yeah.
and like that's it. It's a whole group of kids saying the word "wow."
Yes.
It's not like some said "wow," some said "whoa," some
Yeah.
said "holy shit." No, they all in almost unison say "wow."
Yeah.
Oh, you mean a tie-tie?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his son is a cocky piece of shit.
Yeah. In
Like,
the
remember,
beginning,
hey, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
First you're gonna,
Yeah.
tell the guy that buys the groceries, I just did, you fucking asshole. Like, that's pretty much what he said to his
Listen,
dad.
pretty much, yeah.
Typical vegetarian. He's going to tell you he's a
Yeah, I
vegetarian.
guess so. God. I mean, I like veggies and stuff as the next guy, but I'm not gonna. I don't know where I'm going with
I
that.
voted for Bernie Sanders. Sorry. Seriously, I like Bernie Sanders, but you know,
I like
you
how
know?
he talks.
Who?
Bernie Sanders.
Speaking face.
Yeah, I like
Hillary
it.
Clinton.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's got that. He's got that like that New York like that.
Oh, yeah.
like that thick like, accent type stuff. Yeah, it's funny.
Speaking face.
Yeah,
Do you,
I
you
like
ever
that.
think that Bernie Sanders has ever met Vince Vaughn?
I'd pay to watch that.
I just think we should go see the Chicago. It doesn't even sound like him anymore.
That's fine.
I think we should go see the Chicago Cubs. I think that the Chicago Cubs should be on speaking fees. I think.
Yeah.
We're going to Vegas. Vegas. Wait, what's Little Vegas? Reno? No. No.
Atlantic City. I know what you're thinking.
Fuck. Oh,
Branson?
Yes.
Branson, Missouri. Oh, the Simpsons episode.
Yes.
When they go to Branson, it's a bunch of Charles Jones
Andy
Bransons.
Williams. My Huckleberry friend. You've been to Branson, haven't you?
Nope.
I mean, you're named after it.
Brandon.
Oh, what?
I know.
Hey.
Happens all the time.
Confession time.
Oh boy.
For the longest time, I thought your name was Brendan.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow, dude. I've been called Brian. I've been called.
Not close.
I've been called. What else?
Jerk face.
Cock goblin.
Yeah. What was that one? Smoke.
Beef smoke.
Beef smoke. I was big smoke wiener. I don't know why smoke wiener was going to be the
Freudian slip there, buddy. So sometimes when I pick up the phone at work, I'm like, "Hey, this is Brian." They're like, "Oh, hey, Frank."
Dude, because people don't leave it. They don't listen. They're so focused on what they want to say.
Frank.
Yeah.
Frank. Brian. Frank.
Like,
Do you hear it?
yeah, like the I is very clearly in Brian.
Brian.
Okay, you know what you should do? Be like, "Hey, this is Frank." Like, "Hey, what's up, Brian?"
I should.
Yeah, see?
Frank.
You should like really get angry at them. Get really angry at them. Like when they call you Frank, like, "I said fucking Brian." Hang up.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Brian. God.
Super passive aggressive about it. Like, can I have your email address so I can send you my name so you know how to say it correctly?
So I'm going to email you one of my business. Well, I can't email a business card, but
Scan it.
Yeah. I'm going to fax it to you.
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
Yes.
His coworker, professor at MIT.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of a douche. Because one of his first lines is, "Oh yeah, she has some PH double Ds."
Yeah.
Super cringy.
I know your wife died recently, but I mean, get out there, man. You got to get some. You know, really. It's pretty much what he said to him.
Well, then and I forgot who he's talking about, but he's like,
A student.
Yeah, it was a student.
It was a student, I think. Or was it a teacher?
No, it was a
Double Ds.
student because he's like, "Oh, you shouldn't be storing like your students that way." And Nick Cage said to him,
"Oh, maybe." Oh, I thought they were talking about another coworker.
I think so.
Because of the PhD.
"Are you sure?"
Yeah.
I thought they were
is it
talking
really
about a student.
important?
Not at all. No,
really.
not at all.
Well, yeah, because one's acceptable and one isn't. You're going to slap her on the bum. Say, "Good job, Toots. Make me a sandwich." Hey, hot stuff. Construction worker sitting on a steel beam. I'm gonna turn it around.
You just jumped from like so many different people. It's fine. No.
I don't know who I am
Yeah, it's
anymore.
understandable. Yeah.
Like Phil Hartman, where I don't remember what my actual voice is. Yeah.
Well, that and the because he's trying to set up Nick Cage with his like sister or sister-in-law, whatever.
Something like that.
But he's like, "Oh yeah, your sister or my sister thought you were intriguing." And the quote is, "I thought that was code for gay."
Yeah.
Super
It's like,
weird.
All right. It's like still like, I mean, 2009, you think that's not long ago? I think even around like
10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Well, it's still.
What?
People have been around for thousands of years, so 10 years isn't that long ago. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was going
I was just waiting for the douchey coworker to just drop the word bazungas.
Dude, if you would have said oh, that would have been awesome.
Yabba dabba do. Bonnie, my pebbles.
At the time capsule. I'm just gonna keep going. At the time capsule ceremony.
Oh, wait, so we should say that Lucinda You know, they're like, oh, we want you to draw a picture of what you think the future is going to look like.
That's right.
And then Lucinda's just like writing down a fucking bunch of numbers like a fucking psycho.
In the 50s.
Just like, I'm just saying.
I love this fucking movie.
Yeah, because it's a
Bitch ain't right.
It starts in the 50s. It's a classroom,
Right.
and the teacher's like, "Oh, we're going to do a time capsule. Everyone draw a picture of what you think the future is going to be." So kids are actually drawing pictures. Right. Lucinda is a fucking weirdo who holds a balloon by herself.
Yes.
All the time.
She just does numbers. It is a sheet full of numbers.
Yes.
But I was going to fast forward to what's present day, and they're pulling up the time capsule. At one point, there's like a classroom of kids singing, and I knew you just would enjoy that. So
yeah, it was like this little light of mine or whatever. One of those kind of songs.
Is that the song they were singing?
I don't know, but I'm like, Brian is gonna hate this.
I thought the exact same thing.
I didn't care for it
Right.
at all. I'm not a big fan of like kids in movies.
No.
Unless
Because most of them are terrible.
Unless they're really
Terrible
good.
actors.
Like, who is that? Oh, what's her name?
Haley Joel Osment.
No, she was. What's her name?
Lindsay Lohan.
Haley Joel. No, she was in Interview with the Vampire.
Never saw it.
Really? Well, it's good. It's
I've never
good.
seen it
It's
either.
really, I think you guys will like it. It's pretty good.
Is that with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Christian Slater, I believe, is the interviewer. Yeah, that's what he does the entire time.
Christian Slater's
What's
here.
her name? She was in the Spider-Mans, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. Not Reese Witherspoon.
It's like, oh, you pluralize Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
the Spider-Mans. Have you seen the Spider-Mans?
Spider-Mans.
The web slingers going from building to building. That's the Spider-Man.
He's spraying his nets or whatever. You know,
He's the goop. You know, he's got scoop in his hands. He sprays them, you know.
I would like to see him spray some matzah. I'm like, I kill you.
He's just Rodney Dangerfield for a second. At first, it was a little, what's his, what the fuck's his name? From the 90s. The guy, he's like, he'd be like, a little muffin center of dope him.
Okay.
That guy.
I hate Andrew Dice Clay.
That's who it was. Yeah.
I just watched The Star is Born, finally.
Yeah.
The new one. He's in that. And he plays like a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that Andrew Dice Clay? And then the credits rolled. I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
he's tolerable.
It's because it's a whole character.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Why
playing.
would you want to be that annoying?
Because I guess in the 90s, people thought it was hilarious.
Dude, so
he was selling out stadiums.
The 90s was a weird time.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can care or not. It's a fact.
Sass.
I have a lot of
Andrew
sass.
Dice Clay. Okay.
Wasn't he on Married with Children?
Was it?
What?
Married with Children? Wasn't he on Married with Children? No, that was the other guy. The guy.
Yeah, which goes into my point.
Kinnison, yeah.
I don't want to say people back then were stupider.
More stupid.
More stupid.
They was so stupider.
They was so not smart.
I don't want to say people back
What's
then.
the smart thing you were going to say?
Me do the good. I don't want to, like, people back then were less smart.
Yeah.
But when I see how popular Andrew Dice Clay and Sam Kinison were, I don't get it.
What I think
it's loud noises. That's all it is.
I think it's because no one was doing that. Think of the comedian. No, really, who else was really doing that?
You have to remember it. In the 90s, the top comedians were like Bill Cosby.
Yeah, you had your stand-ups that was just the Seinfeldish type stuff, just environmental. Like that was like, okay, let's what about this is weird that I could tell a story about, to where they were just being like, I'm gonna use a lot of like
over
just
the
over the top and go crazy, and people are gonna think it's hilarious, and they hit a nerve with certain people.
But like Richard Pryor and like George Carlin, they were out before then, and they are genuinely funny.
Yes.
But then like how it's just.
Have you ever listened to Who's the comedian that got arrested for obscenity in like the 60s?
I know what you're talking about. I was going to mention
Lenny
him.
Bruce?
Lenny Bruce, yeah.
Do you listen to his stand-up?
No.
It's
not.
It doesn't age well.
No, it does not age well. But he was, he was the forefather.
Yeah.
He was, like, how many times was the guy arrested? You know, he really
All of
brought
the
it.
times.
Yeah, he brought it out to the forefront. That's what made the Kinnissons, you know, and them like popular because you can see they were able to express what they thought was funny,
But I
what
mean-
made them laugh.
Like George Carlin and Richard Pryor, it's just like this, like kind of like.
But Carlin was smart.
Right.
He was a genius. He was a smart man.
So I mean, so you got George Carlin, like, and he's like making you think, and he's like these really clever jokes, and then you fast forward to Dice Clay. It's like, oh, it's just
because it hits with certain people. You know?
Cook.
yeah.
There you go. Exactly. There's just certain comedians
They climb the ladder.
that hurt
I'm like,
certain people.
what's going on here?
My mouth. I stayed out of my mouth. Dane Cook, my mouth.
I just came.
It's Dane Cook.
Sluts were into him.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
I'm not gonna lie. I was into him a little bit. I'm a slut, all right? Is that what you wanted to hear?
if you really think about it, it's like the sign of the times too.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
During the 90s, Married with Children was on the air. Just certain things were happening, and that's like
I think I'm having an epiphany right now. Because why did I find Dan Cook so funny back then?
I mean, I think there was a time where it was
his
funny.
early stuff was. I liked
His first special. His first special
Yes.
on Comedy Central.
Yeah,
was
his
awesome.
really early stuff I thought was hilarious, and
Yes.
then once he started getting really super,
Right.
when he did that special, when he was in the middle and everyone was around
Yes,
him,
I was thinking the exact same thing. Yes.
I was like,
too much.
yeah. But like when he was like still had the gut and he was like looked young,
Right.
It's not like that kind of like. 'Cause I don't want to say like I didn't see myself like in him, but I was like, that's the kind of humor I would like. I'd want to like say jokes like that.
Right.
That's what I'd want to do. But after that, he just changed too much.
Do you
He got
remember
too
there was
huge.
that onslaught of people who tried to be him though?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it, like,
Just
and it
all
was
the
like
dude
in,
bros.
in women too.
Ugh,
Like I remember watching Last Comic Standing, and there was this one chick that tried to emulate him so hardcore.
That's so
I'm just like, I'm like,
gross.
oh, this is.
That was odd. That was great. That was great timing. Oh, who was that? That one black comic from Last Comic Standing.
I don't
Super
see
tall.
color, sir.
He's so stupid. He's really
Alonzo
tall.
Bowden.
That guy is so funny.
Right.
And he can do dirty comedy. He can do clean.
Right.
No matter what
He's
he
funny.
does,
Yeah.
I laugh all the time. And he doesn't really change because he's the kind of comic that he's not a comic for his time. You know what I mean? Like he's not a 90s comic.
Right.
Or
Yeah,
he's a comic. Like his stuff, I believe, would be funny now, funny 20 years ago, funny 20 years from now. He's great. Yeah, he's really good. So if you want to give us money for listening, Alonzo.
Bowden.
Oh, I'm dying.
Wait, Alonzo Bowden, is that right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
That
yeah.
might be a basketball player, actually.
That's Alonzo Mourning.
Dwight
Oh,
Howard.
you're right.
Dwight Howard.
They're not all Dwight Howard, Chris. Oh God! I opened this up and I saw that. It scared the crap out of me.
So you're gonna change your phone screen to that, right?
Damn right.
That's my grandma.
Once you guys sleep, you don't do.
So
You can't see this, Riley.
So when he has a Riley poster, that's right. Your Riley poster's not even a good picture. It's just like him, like he's just
It's him
dookie.
in like mid talking, just like
So creepy Lucinda like wrote down all these numbers.
Yeah.
So finally, Nick Cage somehow makes the correlation that it's dates and casualties.
Well, because he was just looking at him because he said he's
The whiskey ring.
yeah.
So he sets down his whiskey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, keep going. How did he
Because
go
it
from
kind
there
of like
to
it kind of like goes around
the
a
first
certain
one-
amount of
yeah,
numbers.
And I think
And
the
he's
first
like,
one was
oh.
0911.
Yeah. And it's like, what are
yeah.
the chances that he rings
Well,
around
here's the other thing that
9/11?
pisses
And he
me off.
looks it up. What happened on September 11th?
That's what
It's
pisses
like,
me off.
really?
No. So that's what pisses me off. So it's like 0911 2001.
Yeah.
But then he's like, what's this extra 2996?
Yeah.
And the first article that he picks out says 2,996
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, look.
fuck off.
This,
I like this movie though.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff where I was like, I do not like this movie. It was that kind of stuff. Ugh. Because you can do that. You can do these kinds of number things, good and bad. And I think this movie just didn't do it well at all. So,
one scene I definitely want to talk about is the plane crash scene. So, I mean, basically, there's this whole sheet of numbers that Lucinda wrote down, and it's the date, how many people died, and then he later finds out that's the coordinates.
Yes.
The GPS
coordinates.
longitude of where it happened. So at one point, there's this plane crash that happens, and the thing that I don't get is, so a passenger plane like American Airlines, whatever, crashes into a field.
Yes.
And I swear to God, everyone survives.
Yes.
And runs out of the plane on fire.
yeah. No, it's fine. Well, what's wrong?
Great fire sale.
Happens all the time. Happens all the time.
So many people are running on fire.
Yeah.
And my favorite is like the first guy that he's like running. He's like, yeah. And the kid's like, hey. Yeah. Like, hey, stop and talk to me.
Yeah.
I don't care that you're on fire. But I mean, there's at least like 4 people who are running on fire.
When that
running
little
on fire.
kid, his son is looking out the window during whatever when the guy's in his room and points at the window and the kid looks out the window and that moose is on fire.
Yeah.
And that part,
that dream scene.
Yeah, I'm like, first, that is hilarious.
Yeah,
it sounds kind of like bad to say, but when you watch all these like animals run out of a forest, they're all on fire, and they're not like. I would think animals have that instinct
beforehand.
Well, yeah, they'd have that kind of roll on the ground to get it out. Where like people, we put more thought into things. Mm-hmm. Where animals are more of an instinct, where they would just like, okay, get the fire off of me. Maybe I'll roll. I don't know how they work.
That post-apocalyptic scene didn't really.
Yeah,
no,
it was so CG that I was just like,
yeah, it was all CG. Yeah,
what post-apocalyptic scene did fucking freak me out as a
Terminator.
kid? Yes,
Oh,
Terminator 2.
Oh yeah, dude, Terminator 2 did it right.
Yeah.
You know, like the CG wise, like how it got. Why can't like everybody that made a movie after that should have seen that and been like, you know what, we're gonna do what they did.
Make CG great again.
Well, really,
oh boy, it's just handmade, right?
I don't know, and they did a good job. This one they did not.
Yeah,
Don't touch that.
that's my foam.
That's my lunch.
I don't know. I was trying to think of the MC Hammer song.
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
No, the don't
touch this?
Yeah,
Really?
that's how it goes.
Really? What's his biggest hit? What's his biggest hit ever?
Have you heard his gangster album?
No.
MC Hammer?
He put out, he put out like a couple gangster songs after.
Speaking of music, fuck, let me find that note.
Oh, sorry. While you're looking?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so when Nick Cage, he goes to talk to the teacher and from the 50s who's still alive.
Yes.
And so he goes to
alive.
So he goes to talk to her and she brings out like a tray and everything and she starts pouring. She's pouring tons of vodka into her own drink.
Yes.
And I'm like, she knows how to party.
Party grandma.
Yeah, she's a partier. Like her face was like, but she was awesome. And she's like,
I listen to Dane Cook and I'm a slut.
You said that. Like, do you want any iced tea? And he's like, no, thank you. And she's like pissed, like, fine, don't drink my iced tea. And then like 5 minutes later, she's like, oh, I didn't offer you any iced tea. And he's like, okay, you're a wackadoo lady.
Wackadoo?
Yeah, wackadoo.
We should have a threesome.
With who?
You're fucking twisted.
With who? With Bing Crosby. Don't you see him?
I'm gonna stick my whole fist up your ass. Oh, you never heard that single?
It was the winter, right? This is one of the
Top selling 45 in 1937.
Yeah, one of his Christmas albums. I heard that. Put it in your bum there. It's good.
Very sneaky.
Yeah, you are.
Like his fist.
I'm just gonna skip ahead a little bit, or a lot of it actually. So I forget even the context, but basically like they're breaking into the school. Oh, because Nicolas Cage wants to steal the door.
The door, yes.
That like Lucinda scraped
all their
into.
dealies on.
So, this is so confusing. But so like Nicolas Cage, like he's in his truck, he pulls up to the school, and he like, and he breaks the window, and he like runs into the school. But the score underneath this, it's an orchestra. I think most of the soundtrack is an orchestra, but it's an orchestra. And it's like, it's like, why is Baby Got Back playing right now? Yo, fellas, what's up, Mr. B? Like it was super distracting.
Oh my god!
Just like Nicolas Cage, just like.
Rewinding actually a little bit. When he looks up onto the website about the plane crash, did you guys notice that there was nothing in the URL?
Oh no!
Oh no, I didn't see that.
But completely blank.
Yeah,
I
nothing.
do wonder, do they still have that color code for the terror alerts? Remember when they brought up? They're like, it's an orange day today.
I remember that. Yeah, but I don't know.
Like that was like their big thing. Like, hey, we'll tell you what color, and that depends how safe you are.
Yeah.
I remember thinking.
I had the wacky music. Yeah, the pizzicato strings.
Yeah.
I remember thinking like how when they first brought that up, how dumb it was. Thinking like a color is gonna be like, okay, well, I guess I'm safe now because I know it was just stupid. At one point, I forget who said it, but they go, in the end, it doesn't even matter. And then I'm just like,
that sounds like a Nick Cage line.
It doesn't even matter. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Yeah,
I tried so hard.
R.I.P.
that's what he
I never got into Linkin Park.
Nah, me either.
The Linkin Park Jay-Z.
Oh God.
This episode brought to you by Linkin Park.
Pretty much.
The Linkin Park Jay-Z album was pretty.
Linkin Park
Never-
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Did he stutter?
Yes, that's what I asked.
Yeah, I forget what it was called. Yeah,
I didn't even know they did a collab.
I didn't know they did a cauliflower.
I love cauliflower.
Fucking love cauliflower.
What's that?
Love cauliflower. My nephew calls it white broccoli.
It is essentially
Because he's an idiot. I'm kidding, Oscar. I love
Lady
you.
is queen of keeping it cool. What the fuck is that?
You're right. It was probably facetious because that one chick that he ends up at later on. Remember the daughter? His kids started like that one chick. She does not keep it cool.
Yeah, because I put hysterical insta crying and then oh god.
Yeah, she's like, I'm taking the kids, and do you remember she just like took his kid?
Yeah.
And just
yeah.
left.
Yeah.
Just left. Like, I remember watching it the first time, thinking, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. That's and then just like it. Oh, I was good up until the first time I saw this. I'm like, this is interesting. Like this is, and then all of a sudden, it was right around when the craziness kind of started happening. I'm like, no. This is not my movie. That's
not okay.
This is not, no.
Man, I really need to stop drinking. I have notes like everyone gets a bunny.
At the end.
Yeah. Well, okay. Were they aliens?
Yes.
Or were they angels?
Aliens that look like angels?
Yeah. Because I actually Googled that when I this time watched it. I Googled because I'm like, this is a Christian movie. I was
I didn't even think about that.
Is it?
End of days. Christian undertones. It's not a Christian movie. It has Christian undertones, and it's that what I read was that it's even a little too far fetched for Christianity.
No, wing.
It's a little too far fetched. They're just because the
end does get wacky.
Well, there's none of this was it's not really called like.
Actually, it does talk about the Bible.
Yeah,
in this movie.
You can't read the Bible and like this doesn't what happened. But they're saying like it's they took what happened in the Bible and kind of threw it on the wall and just wanted to use what they wanted, what stuck, kind of thing. Because like at the end when the two kids are running towards the tree, that kind of thing.
Okay,
ham-handed.
another thing where I fucking hate kids, or just how they played it out. So when the two the alien guys, when they take the kids, yes, the whisper people, when they take the kids and they drive off in that hatchback. And the mom's like, ah! And both the kids are just staring out the back window, just like not even putting up a fight or like waving. Like,
I mean, could they just open that back door?
The only thing I thought is because I remember how when they were talking, they're like, oh, they're nice. Remember when the kids were saying how nice they were?
They didn't know, but they didn't know they were nice until they got bunnies.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
They're fucking stupid.
What else? Oh, when the kid was like, it's okay, Nick Cage, come with us. We're gonna go to a different whatever.
Yeah.
And then he can't go with.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, this is the kid acting. He's like, he's crying. While he's crying, this is acting. But why can't you go with? I'm sad. Thank you, Oscar, right here. It was so bad. I appreciate that.
You ever seen Lucas?
Lucas.
1980s movie with Corey Haim.
Yes.
Best slow clap. And what's his face? Charlie Sheen.
Oh. Yes. Isn't that one the football?
Yeah.
One. Yeah. When he does,
it doesn't start football, no.
No, but he does the,
Yeah, no, he plays football, yeah. Best.
Isn't that a real? It's a true story, isn't it?
That's Rudy.
Rudy. That's the one. Well, they're both names.
Yes.
True statement.
Are both names.
I
heard that guy's a dickhole in real life.
Rudy?
Rudy Rudiger,
We should find him and ask him. Be like, why are you such a fucking asshole?
Whoa, hey, coming in hot. I wonder if Lucas is the OG of like slow clap endings.
I'm sure it is.
Oh yeah, what is
remember
the first slow clap?
I think that's it.
Well, when was that made? In the 90s?
80s, bro.
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking. Well, because a lot of remember that they really mock the slow clap now.
Yeah.
So I could be because I know they did it in a lot. Some of the John Hughes.
Yeah.
Some of the ones I believe there were slow claps. I'm not talking Breakfast Club. I'm talking the ones like maybe Pretty in Pink, that kind of stuff. Maybe I'm thinking I'm not saying there are, but I could see a John Hughes having a slow clap. You can Google it all you want.
I will.
You can't tell me I'm wrong because I never said he did.
Can we talk about the train subway crash in this movie?
Yes.
If you like.
I'm leaking.
He is leaking.
25.
So I don't know if it's just how it was filmed or edited or what, but I was so confused if Nicolas Cage was on the train that was like flipping off the rails.
They moved. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like, I think there's two trains or subways, whatever.
Yes.
One flipped off the tracks, one didn't. And basically that one train that went off the rails, it went off the rails and crashed into another train, I think. I don't know. It was edited very weird.
Yeah. It was weird
It
editing.
looked weird.
Very CG.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will say, it was a super short clip, but it was super brutal. It was first person view of the train like sliding through the station and people just getting hit like
Yeah.
There was a lot of like people just getting destroyed. Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah. Ja Rule?
Is that
He's part of Murder Inc.
Ja Rule or is that DMX?
Both probably. Well, I only know something because Ja Rule I think his label is Murder Inc.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so. Or was back in the day.
Maybe that's
And he's
DMX.
like, my love, my bleh. And then there was a chick that would say something. And they'd be like, my bleh, I'm Ja Rule. And that was his music. So, that's all I got on him. Oh, God. This is going to be a thing now,
so
isn't
I
it?
guess it's a debate between Lucas and Can't Buy Me Love.
And who was
I
in
don't remember Can't Buy
Yeah.
Me Love. Can't Buy Me Love is 1987.
Who was in that?
I don't know. I stopped. I didn't want to.
Well,
wanted
I
to be
need to
present.
because it sounds... I love getting presents.
when he goes to New York City, basically he figures out, I mean, we were talking about this, but it's the date, how many people are going to die,
Yes.
latitude, there
yeah.
you go. So at one point he realized one of the future dates is in New York City.
Yes.
So he calls, I think, the New York police.
Yes.
He's like, oh my God, this thing's going to happen. You got to tape it off, whatever.
Yeah.
But he decides to go there. And once again, the soundtrack features a very, very prominent clarinet.
Oh, yeah?
it was one of those things where like it took me out of the movie. I was like, why is that clarinet so fucking loud?
I wish it was a bassoon.
That's what they do. Clarinets.
Bassoons are the worst.
Yeah.
Is that
Wait,
the really
no.
big?
Oh no, oboe. I'm sorry, oboe. Oboe's the worst.
Double reed.
Tuba mama, saxophone. What's that from?
Simpsons.
Yeah, damn right, it's from The Simpsons.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little salty.
And also that subway train crash, whatever. So it happens, and it gives off some very weird 9/11 vibes because it's dusty all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But like the camera kind of like comes up and like zooms out, and there's just like, you know, all these people kind of coming out of the subway, and again they're all dusty and whatever. Yeah. And there's this really wide shot of like people coming out of the subway, and I noticed that there's this woman just like by herself, just sitting in the street, just being like, "Oh my god," like crying, sad, whatever. And then this like character, this man in a suit comes up and like walks up to her. I was like, oh, maybe they know each other. And he just pats her on the shoulder and then keeps walking.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Weird choice, but okay.
During a lot of that, like accident scenes like that, a lot of the like the fire department, the police don't do much. You don't see them doing anything. You see them running towards stuff, but then just.
Well, and I mean, skipping towards the very, very end.
Yeah.
But when like the solar flares are happening, there's the one cop that just shoots into the air.
Like, why is he shooting in the air?
Yeah, you show the sun.
Yeah. Damn it! No way, solar flares.
What? Sorry.
Go ahead.
This movie had like the John Lovitz seal of approval of it was acting because the acting was so bad from not Nick Cage and not but from the like you said the woman sitting that stuff like so everyone else probably went to like the John Lovitz school of acting while like Nick Cage and the other people had their own thing. It just wasn't good at all. I even wrote down acting because I'm just like this is not.
When they show the solar flare and like everything's blowing up and burning up, how to be that graphic artist? How depressing do you think that is,
dude? I'm like
I would be wrecked for weeks.
I wouldn't want the knowing superpower, like knowing when stuff's gonna like. I wouldn't want like none of that. I wouldn't want to have the number thing. And again, I wouldn't want to have made this thing. Like it's sad. It really is. Like it's not because you really think like because solar flares they happen. You know?
Yeah, but we'll all be dead. So,
I mean,
okay.
but do you want to know what's coming? They knew it's coming.
Oh, I would fucking go hog wild.
I would probably just sit on my couch.
It's the most brand.
Go to the caves. Go to the caves.
Yeah. So the equivalent of duck and cover underneath this fucking school desk.
Oh, there's going to be a nuclear bomb that's just going to the desk.
Yeah.
Pretend you're sucking your dick.
That's what they used to say.
Pretend you're sucking your dick, children. There's a tornado. Pretend you're fucking fine. Arrest that man.
Well,
That got really dark.
No, it's fine.
Sorry,
It's
everybody.
fine. It's fine.
Well, and that's what I was confused about is because like when they do show like the solar flare and basically like the world ending,
Yeah.
it was like so. I think it was showing New York, but it was like a very slow like wall of fire kind of
Very
like
slow.
Yeah.
If that was a solar flare, it would
Wouldn't
have
it be, like,
been
instant?
like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Even though it takes it's 8 minutes for light from the sun to hit Earth.
Yeah,
It would still once it hits Earth.
yeah,
It's
instant.
done.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
It's very much like Independence Day, like a wave of fire.
Yeah, because you gotta think it's still light. It's still you know,
Yes,
so it's not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
move 25 miles an hour. It's gonna just completely wipe everything out.
sunglasses on the earth, bro.
Dude, you know what?
Blue blockers.
I never realized how smart you were until you just said put blue sunglasses on.
Give us some blue blockers.
Yeah. I always thought blue blockers was the coolest when I was a kid.
Oh, brand.
Yeah, I'm like, man, they are so cool under the blue blockers and everything.
So did you buy a pair?
No. Well, like I was a kid. I didn't have money. When I got older.
You have money now.
Well, I'm older. I'm like, those are stupid as hell.
Stupid as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
My money and I want it now.
Hey, JG Wentworth.
When the Whisper people do steal the children from the gas station,
Yes.
the mom totally steals a Jeep.
Yes.
Just like
Okay.
steal some random dude's Jeep.
Someone stole her car.
That's true.
I mean, it's the Whisper people.
It's only fair.
But so she steals this Jeep and she's chasing the Whisper people.
Yeah.
And they run a red light and she runs a red light, but she ends up getting hit by a semi.
Yeah.
Yes.
She ends up getting a semi and, flips over because that's what Jeeps do. And Jeep. And like the camera kind of like stays on the Jeep, like on its side.
Yeah.
And I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was totally expecting it to cut to like a guy in a suit in front of a wall and just be like, and that's why you look both ways. Credits.
It's pretty much one of those kind of movies.
It just turns out to be a really long, driver's ed video.
Well, you think about it, she wasn't in the movie very long either.
No.
She wasn't really needed.
Actually, no. She was.
She's in the museum. And
No, she was. The museum that came in about 45 minutes in, and she was in for.
What do you mean?
Yeah, maybe about an hour and a half in, she started to show up. Maybe right in the last 5 minutes, she was. I'm like, what are they going to catch on? I'm being an asshole. Okay. She was it, but they didn't show a lot of her. Is what I'm saying. Like she was. Okay, she might have been in it.
She wasn't integral to the integral.
Exactly. She didn't need to be really part of it either.
Right.
That's the point, because like the main reason she was there is because her daughter is Eve or whatever for the New World.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they're running towards the tree at the end,
Yes.
yeah, it's totally a play on. I felt like it was a play on the very much so.
But
Adam and Eve.
Did you notice the other
site, Adam and
ships
Eve.
on the planet?
Yes.
Putting like the
Dude, how bad did you want ET to be on one of those fucking spaceships? Just me, huh?
Man, not ET so much. It would also, what if it was like that, like one of the aliens from Men in Black? He just ate all the people.
No, fuck. No. The alien from Mac and Me. That's who should have been on there.
Yeah, there it is.
The other thing I had a question about. That same scene where the mom steals his Jeep and all that. So she's at a gas station and like the emergency broadcast goes out that like, hey, there's an emergency.
Yeah.
How many gas stations do you know have a TV that also has the volume up on it?
And it seemed like people were looting the gas station for their supplies.
I need all the Butterfingers.
Yeah, it's just like that was.
Where the Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah. It's very good.
My tongue.
Yeah, dude, have you ever eaten too many Sour Patch Kids?
That's why I just said, my tongue.
Well, you might have seen something, so I was clarifying. You
remember Warheads?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Do they still make them?
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. Remember Crybabies? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait. Wasn't the package like a...
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you eat it and you'd be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I love sour candy.
Big League Chew still going strong.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
It's very surprising.
Why?
I don't know, because it's gum. And what's the big deal? I never bought it.
Why is Fruit Stripe still around?
Because it's great for like 30 seconds.
All right.
You throw it out.
Exactly. The woman that Nick Cage like gives Caleb to, he's like, oh, I gotta do some things.
His sister.
Okay, is that what she was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
The stranger.
it's
Yeah.
yours. Like, just take this. They kept hugging. I was like, who is this?
Yeah, that was
woman?
that was his sister.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember at the end when Nick Cage, like after he realized he wasn't getting rescued, he finally sees his dad after whatever how many years.
Yeah.
And then he hugs his dad and his
That's
mom and
right.
his sister's there, and they're all just like, we're hugging, and all of a sudden they're all dead.
Boom. Yeah.
And then then the kid's running at the tree and then we eat some apples and get some knowledge.
Yeah.
And
The CG of the alien planet was
way bad. Yeah.
they're running through wheat. They're running through wheat fields.
No, it was like
It was wheat fields.
Cocoa
No,
Wheats.
it was like CG, like
Oh yeah, CG
I don't
wheat,
know.
but yeah, it was really lousy and gross and stupid.
just
but
looked
yeah,
like this. Just
see, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been some weird alien planet they just made up, like a bunch of like ding dongs. They're like,
oh wait,
Bunch of aliens going, click, 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 Fruit Winkles, Fruit Winkles.
that would have been hilarious.
You're fucked up. No.
No, it's fine.
that's all the notes I pretty much had for this.
Yeah, it's.
Man, the more we talk about it, I don't know if I recommend this movie, actually.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's like it. It held my attention. I was curious where it was going.
And then it hits a point because I was the same way when I first watched it. It held my attention. I was like, this is going to be a good movie.
Yes.
And then around that gas station scene, that's kind of really when I was like, what the hell is maybe
no, I'd say a little bit after that.
You think
because like with the whisper people, stupid name.
Yeah.
I was like, are they part of the government? Are they part of the? But then when they're like, oh, they're aliens, I was like, no. So once a spaceship like comes and lands, I was like, no.
E.T. Yes, I was thinking of Edward Scissorhands.
What?
Because you asked me to.
You know that part?
No.
It's snowing.
Oh,
and he's doing his fingers on that. He's making the thing. It's like, yeah, that
It's
part.
fucking Tim Burton soundtrack.
Yeah.
Or Danny Elfman soundtrack.
Yeah. Elfman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah.
Is that how he's doing?
Yeah, fucking.
That is Johnny Depp.
That's true. That's true.
Fucking what's her face in all the what's her face that's in all the fucking Tim Burton movies?
Helena Bonham Carter.
yeah. You don't like her?
Helena Bonham Carter.
Bowman. Bauman? Bom.
I think.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ran.
I was gonna harmonize.
I thought you were just going.
Budget for this movie.
That's it. It's over.
Budget for this movie was $50 million. 50 million.
This. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
That's okay.
We've been interrupting. That's all about
this.
that.
It almost seems like it's like this could have been a made-for-TV type movie. Like, just take out Nicolas Cage and put in some soap opera guy.
Yes.
Like,
You know what? Actually, now that you say that, it's very reminiscent of The Day After Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. So it's okay. I'm still okay. Sorry, go ahead. You can go with your budget. I just have to say,
What do you think it made? The budget was $50 million. How much do you think it made?
maybe 20.
62.
$186 million.
That's a lot of
So
disappointed
when's
people.
Knowing 2 coming out?
Seriously. I mean, when I watched this, it was on Netflix when I watched it a couple years ago.
Oh.
Yeah, so it hit Netflix pretty quickly. So I guess some movies do hit Netflix
Yeah.
quickly. So yeah. Okay.
It took 3 months to shoot the film.
I mean, it is a lot of CG. So
yeah.
Nicolas Cage's character never sleeps in his own bed throughout the entire movie.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Like when he's like on the couch and he's there and then going back to the subway crash, whatever. A somewhat similar derailment on the New York City subway actually happened in real life. August 28th, 1991, a number 4 express train derailed at a rail switch and crashed before the 14th Street, blah, 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 blah. The severity of the crash caused 5 out of the 10 cars to be destroyed.
Wow.
1 car was split into 2.
Jeez, how many people hurt or dead?
5 people died and 161 were injured. The crash, the crash was caused by the motorman who was intoxicated at the controls.
that'll do it.
And had been speeding when the train passed over a switch.
You guys want to see something real cool?
Watch me jump this shit.
That's insane.
The motorman was later arrested and was sentenced from 5 to 15 years in prison for manslaughter
that's
and
it?
assault.
He should have been more.
He was
I would
released
think.
in 2002.
His punishment should be now watching this movie all the time.
Guys, I have a surprise. Guess who's going to be on next week? Ted Danson. No.
Yeah. He was on Cheers and CSI.
Was he on CSI?
Mm-hmm. The recent ones.
He was on a terrible show, I feel like. Like,
Cheers.
take it back right now.
No, Cheers is great. I love it.
It's like,
It wasn't Woody called Woody on the show too. Woody Harrelson. Was that his name too?
I know it was Woody.
Yeah, I think it was Woody too.
been.
Yeah.
You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me.
You have a friend in me. So you'd be better like that.
That's not how fucking Randy Newman sounds.
That's Jesus Christ.
Hey, with trivia.
Do you still recommend it?
Yeah. So
After all
now
this
that
stuff?
we've talked about it,
Yeah.
Brandon, do you recommend?
I'm
this?
still at a big Zippo negatory.
Which means
No.
okay. Man,
I know.
I think I might switch my vote. Actually, I'm gonna go no.
Oh, and you?
No, and I still want to know why the house is so dilapidated.
Yes. You should tweet Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Ask him. I'm sure.
Hey!
I'm sure we'll get back to
Or
you.
Alex Proyas.
Ask him. Yeah.
That asshole.
Yeah. So there it is.
How do you feel about this beer?
I liked it. Very good. I like the
Spice.
chili. Yeah, the
Yeah.
spice. I think that's the best part of it for me.
Guajillo chilies.
Yeah. Definitely the best part.
I agree.
Yeah. I would give it a 3.75. No, 4.
Oh.
Sorry, I changed it to 4. Yeah, definitely 4. I think sorry.
No. Fuck
ahead.
me. I think I might go 4.5.
Wow.
Just because I like the Dark Lord flavoring so much, but
Yeah.
that extra spice,
Yeah.
just really fucking does it for me.
Wow.
I'm gonna go 4.5.
Yeah, I'd probably say like 4.25.
Is that your highest rating ever?
Yeah,
On
one
the
that was
show?
in the 4s.
Probably.
Yeah, but
I know
yeah.
the Goose Island Bourbon County Stout was 4. This is my favorite beer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was 3.75.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
that's it. I'm naturally just a
You know
fan
what?
of dark
I say
beer.
4 now, but I still have some left. So I might change
Hey,
it.
you never call your mother.
I talk to her all the time.
Oh, okay.
I might change it on Untapped. So if you guys, which none of you have added me on Untapped, you're a horrible audience. I still love you all.
Subscribe.
But yeah, I might change it because I still want to finish it. But I'm still I'm the
gets
4
better as it
right
warms
now.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
yeah,
still the
'cause
4
that's
right
like,
now.
I'm naturally just stouts are like my favorite type of beer.
right.
But the chili for the aftertaste
yeah,
is
I can see it going to a 4.5. It just has to. I gotta let it.
get more drunk.
Yeah.
People with phones, can you see what the next movies are?
Oh, okay.
Hurry, Brandon, hurry.
I'm trying because I really have to make a wee wee. Yeah, I know. You were happy to know that.
I don't.
I said.
Brand is now looking up on his phone.
You know he was married to Alice Kim,
Who?
Nick Cage.
Who's Alice Kim?
She was super young, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
super
yeah.
young. And they got divorced, and it was out of nowhere for him. He even said, he's like, this is out of nowhere for me. She is.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. She's like super young.
I like how I just click on the knowing. Like, I don't look at the movies we're like wanting to watch.
Who's Alice Kim?
I don't
though?
think she's anyone super famous.
So
How many times has he been married though?
Twice?
Because he was married to Lisa Marie, right?
Yes.
yeah,
he
Lisa
was.
Marie 3 times, I believe. 3
He
times.
was married to Lisa Marie 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, he actually asked
God
Elvis.
damn, he's been in so many movies.
And he said, "Don't
Why?
be
Yeah.
cruel."
Did you say Nick Kroll?
No, he said, "Don't be cruel." It's an Elvis song. God,
I can sing Elvis. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true.
there are so many old ladies mad at you right now.
What are you talking about? My great grandma was obsessed with Elvis.
I was obsessed with Elvis, dude.
She had she had his autograph on stuff, like a lot more. Like
Does she really?
She
she's
used
dead.
to.
Yeah.
She's dead now.
Sorry.
Thanks for bringing that up. But yeah, no, she loved Elvis.
So where's the autograph stuff now?
I think she had autograph stuff. Dude, if she did any of that stuff, I have no idea where any of it is.
Time capsule?
I think it's in. Yeah, and she wrote a bunch of numbers on paper too for some reason. It's really weird.
Jack Dawson.
Pretty much, that was my great grandma. She was like Elvis Presley.
Some people say the Titanic was the ship of dreams.
I remember.
Pie dog. What? Pie dog?
Oh, Pie Dog. Yeah.
Five Dog?
So I believe, and this may change later. Next movie is Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
Oh, I think I've seen that on it. Yeah, I think I've seen that.
2009. And then there's some animated movies. We'll skip over those. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, 2010.
I really wish they would have continued with that one. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're also coming up.
I like fantasy
We're
movies.
coming up to Drive Angry, which was
I've never seen.
that was so I watched Vampire's Kiss, and then I saw Drive Angry, and that's basically what made me start this podcast.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right. That'll do it for this episode. Brand stated that he does have to pee, and that will happen henceforth. Bye-bye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I guess. We know you ladies love us. So follow us, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict. Watch us on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. Just watch us. You know you'll love it.